Good Tuesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. So happy that you're here. We got a lot to update you on in terms of showers and storms that will be slow to get in here. But first, I got to get to the big story. The big story, of course, is our friends at Weigel's. Fuel and food that's fast, fresh, and friendly. Did you know they have a brand new milk? Oh, yes, the Eagle has landed. No, the Moon Pie milk has landed. Oh, yes, and it's available for a limited time. You say, Moon Pie milk? Who ever heard of such a thing? Oh, it's so delicious. You know, RC Cola, eat your heart out. Moon Pie milk and a Moon Pie. That's what I say. Moon Pie milk and a Moon Pie, you get them only at Weigel's. It's just better when it's fresh. Farm to store in 24. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. And I got to tell you what, this Moon Pie milk, it's flying off the shelf. So check it out. I think a lot of folks are curious, and I think it goes great. Goes great with a chocolate moon pie. Just throwing that out there. But of course, you can always check it out at a Weigel's when you stop there the next time. Maybe you're there this morning to fill up your tank, but you might want to grab some coffee or also some chocolate milk and all the other rest things that Weigel's has to offer. By the way, as we move ahead, because we know the time, Aldrich, it is now 6:42. We have 60 degrees at the airport, 61 in Oak Ridge, 59 in Morristown. There's a birdie telling me there's a rumor going around that we could have some strong to severe storms today. Is that true? That is true. But it's going to be a slow build. It's not going to be like here right now. It's not like you're out the door, you're like, where is the rain? It's going to be slow to get in here and slow to leave. I think that should be a mantra. I say that a lot, but when we have these slow-moving storm systems, that means you've got lots of time to get to the grocery store, the pharmacy, the library, wherever you're headed, maybe school or work. But I will tell you this, it's pretty mild. 59 in Morristown, White Pine, in Dandridge, 58 Newport. It is 60 right now in Crossville, in the heart of Cumberland County. Wartburg checking in at 60 degrees. Do we have some fog? Maybe, but the visibility 10 miles. And Knoxville not going to be an issue this morning, where we do see some rain, and we can transition to the radar. There's no harm in that. Nothing here. I have to zoom back out. Let's zoom all the way out. I see it's maybe approaching Nashville. It's back there. I know what you mean. It's slow to get in here, but it could also be slow to leave. So make sure you pack the umbrella. Make sure it's in the car. Make sure it's at least available for you. I do want to mention to you that there is a risk from our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. It's not much. It's 2%. That may be the way you like your milk from Weigel's. 2% milk. No, 2% chance for a tornado within 25 miles of a point. So it's not like it's zero, but it's still present. That possibility of a rotating thunderstorm as we head into the evening will be on the table. There's a 5% chance, more than twice the tornado chance for some 60-mile-an-hour winds. That would classify for a 5% chance you get a severe thunderstorm warning. That's a possibility across every part of East Tennessee, and the risk for hail up to 1 inch in diameter, about 5% chance there in Knoxville and throughout East Tennessee today. So just want to give you a bird's eye view that we are talking about strong to isolated severe. Most of the rain you can see back toward Nashville. There's another batch moving across Florida. They've got some concerns for tornadoes there in red, and it's expanding now into Jacksonville, Florida at this particular time. I want to say good morning to you. Happy that you're here on a Tuesday. If you got a comment, Felicia Moyer Sexton says, good morning, hoping no rain until after lunchtime. I think your hope and prayer will come to pass, Felicia. I think we're going to be fine because field day is today. Oh, I love field day. Remember those? That brings back memories. Field day, field trip, something that's fun outside. Have a great Tuesday. Thank you, Felicia. Fred says, good morning, David. It's a nice 58, and he's grabbing some Weigel's coffee. Thank you, Fred. I know Weigel's appreciates it. I appreciate it. And when you're there, tell him Captain Accurate sent you. Of course, the guy or gal at the register go, who's that? No, they'll figure it out. Danny says, good morning, David. Hope you have a wonderful day. Go Vols. Happy to have you here. I'm also on YouTube, so I'll be checking comments there. If you're on YouTube, let me know what you're seeing or feeling in terms of temperature, your sky condition, because I know people read the comments, and it can be helpful as people head out the door. Most of the rain up to the north either seems like it's up toward northern New York State into New England. We also have some showers that are moving across parts of the Dakotas and into, say, Wyoming. But this is the big picture for the lower 48. A lot of thunderstorms now firing up across the Gulf of Mexico to the tune of about 10,000, 11,000 from this image alone. Now, we have a deficit in spots. I think that's probably overstated. Yes, there's maybe a tenth, maybe a quarter inch in dark blue. Some of the communities around East Tennessee may need some rain, but boy, I don't think that's going to be the real story or the problem as we head out throughout the rest of the week. We've got slow-moving rain coming in today, tonight, tomorrow, and then perhaps an unsettled period Friday into Saturday or into the weekend. We'll look at that a little more closely. But I do want to show you the actual projections. Let's talk about future rainfall. How much rain can we expect between now and 5 o'clock today? Well, some of the models suggest if you're in Morristown, less than a tenth. But if you're in Oak Ridge, it could be like more than a third. Oh, that can't be right. It can't be that varied. Yes, it can. It depends on where these showers and storms take up residence. Yeah, where they take up location, where they settle in. We may only pick up 0.08 of an inch in Crossville. Again, these are just early projections from some of the modeling. But as we head into about tonight, into Wednesday morning, it looks like we fill in about a quarter in Morristown, about a ½ inch or more between Knoxville, Oak Ridge. And then naturally, there's going to be some locally heavy rain tomorrow as well. So it would put maybe some of us close to an inch, maybe over an inch. Knoxville suggested here 1.3. So it's going to be coming down in stages. It'll be coming in, as I say, slow to get in here and slow to leave. And if you are curious that we've had a wet May so far, oh yes, April showers bring May flowers. But what happens when May becomes rainy? Because May, after the first, 8 or 9 days of it, we've picked up 4.57. Let me say that again, 4.57 in the first 9 days of May. Today's the 14th of May. So we're going to add to that. If we get an inch a week, and we had 3 weeks left, that would take us to 7.5, right? Do the math. We could be in the 7.5 range territory if we just assume normal rainfall for the last 3 weeks of May. Because the average in green for May in Knoxville is 4.13. Too many numbers for you? I can help you out with that. Top 10 wettest Mays on the screen. Who does the research? Captain Accurate does. Because I want you to know we're in 42nd place. Who does that? I did, because I did the research, right? I went back, I combed through the numbers for you. If we pick up 1 inch per week for the next 3 weeks, we'd be around 7.5. We could be in the top 10. We could be in the top 10 wettest Mays of 2024. Yes, indeedy. That's what I expect. That could be on the table, so we'll have to wait and see. And if we pick up another inch between now and Wednesday night, that would put us, at 5.5? We could be moving up the train from 42, maybe into the top 25. Soon, we could be in the top 10. Something to watch. If you're a gardener, you're a landscaper, you may not be too thrilled about this, but we'll keep an eye on that all the same. Some information I like to share with my premium members ahead of time. By the way, temperatures right now, 59 in Morristown, 61 in Oak Ridge. We have 61 in Madisonville. We've kind of covered the temperature a little bit. If you're just joining us, the dew points have come up from the 40s this past weekend to the mid to upper 50s. So it is not necessarily uncomfortable, but it's a little tad stickier. It's a bit more humid when you have low 60s in Madisonville and Athens at this particular moment. Wind speeds at the moment aren't moving much, 7 miles an hour. I suspect they'll be generally 0 to 5 plus through the course of today. And you say, why plus? Because they're higher in the Smokies, and they'll be higher where a strong to severe storm takes hold. So if you're under a severe thunderstorm between 2 and 8 p.m. today and tonight, that could kick up the winds 40, 50, 60 miles an hour in a very localized region. That would also skew some of the winds. But the temperatures, 66 right now in Nashville, 68 in Memphis. I'm coming back on camera to check in with you. Melissa Sill says, good morning, David and everyone. She's got her 2 cups of Weigel's coffee. I love it. Elizabeth says, is there a chance the storms will break apart before they move in to East Tennessee and Greenville? There's always a chance, Elizabeth, but keep in mind, I've got an 80% chance of rain between now and about 8 o'clock tonight. Because remember, the sun goes down now after 8:30, 8:33. In fact, my notes say, 8:34. 8:34 is when the sun sets. So technically, yeah, I think the chance is still there. You could get some strong storms in Greene County. Felicia's on here and Fred's on here. By the way, yesterday's high was 68 degrees. And that was pretty cool. We were expecting mid-70s. Oak Ridge got to 71, but the clouds and the light rain persistently kept temperatures down yesterday. The record high today goes back to 2018. That's not that long ago. It was 91 degrees on this date in 2018, 1916, and in 1881. We have 3 record highs on those dates for the 91, and it was 39 degrees in 1917. So if you like context, I'm all here for that as well. By the way, if you haven't picked up a bottle of the Moon Pie milk, the Moon Pie milk, well, Moon Pie and a Moon Pie milk. Oh, Moon Pie milk and a Moon Pie. You love it. If you go to Weigel's, they've got this great new creation. It's just better when it's fresh. Farm to store in 24, it's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. But the Moon Pie milk, it has landed. Check it out. It's delicious. It's another great treat to check out that Weigel's is always thinking outside of the box. I love that indeed. As we go back to temperatures, 59 right now in Asheville. It's 59 in Johnson City and 59 in Jackson, Kentucky. Here's the sunrise sunset times. There will be some showers and storms developing today. Some could be strong. Some could be isolated severe. We'll look at that again with the Storm Prediction Center maps here momentarily. Bus stop forecast. Do I expect a dry start? I do. But later this afternoon, between the hours of 2 and 8 p.m., I think it'll just begin to fill in. Slow to get in here, slow to leave, and where it does rain, it could pour. Today, high about 77 for Newport, 75 for Boorstown. These are my expectations. A big difference if you're in Crossville, high there of only 72, but 78 for Tellico Plains and Madisonville in Monroe County. Here's another look at the radar and the clouds put together. A lot of the clouds in blue there are colder cloud tops that start to get thicken, move across East Tennessee. So we're going to find a mostly cloudy day. Can't rule out some hazy sunshine, but the rain you see back to the west will be slow to advance. Lots of clouds in place. I can see them here as you can over the last 6 hours. It's been filling in accordingly. Headlines at 6:51. Showers and storms develop today. Slow movers, slow to exit. Some could be strong to isolated severe later today and tonight. And then showers and storms on Wednesday. That's going to continue, so I think the soggy weather will persist. By the way, if you like to see the spin, I like to show the colors. This is pretty, though, although we have to say these are temperatures color-coded at 5,000 feet. And where you see some green, where you see some blue, it's a little bit cooler. And certainly it may lower the pollen counts a wee bit with all this rain that's coming in. But I will say this, as we head through the rest of the week, you can still see there's some coolness that's still pervading across the Ohio Valley. It tries to spin in here, and we will find, as some would call this, when we had the 40s this past weekend, they'll call that the blackberry winter. Because blackberries are in bloom, suddenly a cold spell represents a blackberry winter. I prefer, maybe some of you prefer a blackberry winter over a winter like we had back in January, a far cry from the same. But these are the 6 little winters of Tennessee on your screen, and we've now moved pretty much into early to mid-May, so I think we could probably label any cool spell, if we get one, as blackberry winter. Moving on, though, right now we have currently 60 degrees. Our winds are out of the north at 7. We have a 90% relative humidity at the moment. Dew points at 57 degrees. I got a couple of notes as I want to change the Valley Planner so you can get a bit of a look at that. Temperature should be around 70 at lunchtime, so make your plans accordingly. The average high this time of year is now 78. But expect a mostly cloudy day. I do think we'll be building to an 80% chance of rain during the hours of 2 and 8 p.m. So 2 to 8 p.m. will be when things start to unfold from west to east, looking for a high around 75 degrees. Got a couple of comments from you. Melissa saying, good morning, David. Wanda says that wind yesterday was cool. Will the wind be cool with the rain? Naturally, it'll be a cooling effect, but again, 0 to 5 plus outside of storms. So from the absence of storms, not very windy. When you feel the winds picking up, the clouds are getting darker and opening up, things will actually pick up. Pete says, good morning, Captain. Good to have Pete here. And as I mentioned him on YouTube, if there are any comments, Marilyn Bell says moon pie milk is yummy. Yummy, she says in all caps. I love it. Thank you, Marilyn. She said, I'm not a big milk drinker, but she likes the moon pie milk. Tell you what, R.C. Cole, eat your heart out. I think it's moon pie milk and a moon pie, rather than RC Cola and a moon pie. I think Weigels is on to something. If you haven't tried it, you got to check it out, moon pie milk. We'll talk about that more in the moments. By the way, Valley Planner 75, that's my expectation. Generally mid-70s today in East Tennessee. It is 6:54. What do we have? We have 80% chance. That can't be right. It'll be building to that. We don't have it now. It might be a hard sell that we're up at 80%, but between the hours of 2 and 8 p.m., I think it does get a little more unsettled. Speaking of unsettled, pick out your favorite colors. Maybe it's dark green, maybe it's yellow, but those are the more common colors that the Weather Service, and more specifically, the Storm Prediction Center, uses to illustrate risk. And there's a higher risk for severe storms in places where there are dark green and yellow areas, like Denver, maybe parts of Texas. But more specifically, scattered severe storms today persist between Tampa, Orlando, Daytona Beach, and Jacksonville. And if you move back toward Knoxville, we've got an isolated chance for severe storms. We mentioned 2% chance for a tornado, 5% chance for damaging wind and hail, but we're keeping a watchful eye on that, so it covers pretty much the entire region if you're moving east or west or just staying put. Wednesday, tomorrow, we've got some hot spots for isolated severe storms from Omaha to Lubbock, Texas, Kansas City, also Orlando, Tampa, and perhaps just south of Gainesville, and then we slide into Charlotte, into Raleigh, into Fayetteville. There could be some isolated severe storms tomorrow. Even though it's rainy and rainier maybe tomorrow, it's not going to be reaching severe limits by the expectation from the Storm Prediction Center. They do believe the rumbles of thunder, the light green, would be general thunderstorms indeed. Thursday, we do it again. The severe weather season continues. Look at Austin. Look at Dallas, look at Abilene, Waco, some hot spots for scattered severe storms in yellow. Isolated in Houston, Corpus Christi, and Oklahoma City. On Thursday, another hot spot would appear around St. Louis and around Columbia, Missouri. But no concerns for real weather on Thursday, maybe a spot of rain. Let's take a look at the futurecast. I do see this lined up pretty well. I saw it from earlier, some showers moving into Nashville. Well, that's where it is here at 8 o'clock. So it's slow to get in here. It's slow to leave. As it fills in, there's noontime. It's coming up from the south and west, looks like. And it kind of fills in and stages. There's 5 o'clock. Maybe you got a shower downpour in Morristown. Maybe you have it in Rutledge or Granger County, maybe sliding up to Sneedville by 5 o'clock. Then it really fills in and it's kind of rainy right through 11. Right? So we've got an area of low pressure that's near South Carolina. We've got a front that's approaching Nashville. It's a squeeze play, and it's going to continue to wrap around on Wednesday. Watch the rain kind of spin back in. There's 5 o'clock Wednesday. That's why an umbrella in your car would certainly serve you well, not only today, tonight, but also tomorrow on Wednesday. Friday, we'll see and watch this fill back in, keeping an eye on some of the heavier rain you could see in red between Mississippi and Alabama. So we've got potentially more rain in your future that will actually skew us on track, I think, on track to be in the top 10 wettest Mays. Who told you that first? Captain Accurate did. Of course. By the way, let's take a look at the futurecast. By 9:30, 63. Projections here show some downpours in red by noontime between Jamestown and Oneida. And I love looking at these because this is a different model than the one we just showed you. So they have different outcomes. They show different solutions, and that's okay. It gives you at least the bird's eye view. Look at that downpour. 2 o'clock, right on time, 73. Around Knoxville, but getting cooler perhaps. Maybe we squeeze out with some sunshine back to the 70s, mid-70s, because it will be mostly cloudy, but intervals of sun may be found today as well. Notice the red areas, that represents the thunder. Somebody, I think Elizabeth was wondering about Greenville. A couple of showers near Greenville at 5 p.m. Maybe some stronger storms in red moving across the region. And then by 11 o'clock, we could still be dealing with strong and severe storms. That will continue as well, and you can see it moving up to the north and east. So it's not everywhere all the time, but I think we will be building to an 80% chance of rain later today and certainly tomorrow as well. So let's get to the forecast. Dun, dun, dun. Today, 75. Mostly cloudy with intervals of sun. Showers and storms develop with light and variable winds. You could probably put a 0 to 5 plus, because if you're under a severe storm, that plus goes up to 60. It goes from like 0 to 60, like your car does when you're really putting to the metal to the pedal. But as far as the temperatures, 77 for Middlesboro? Yeah, that's possible. How about Newport? 77. Oak Ridge, Clinton, about 73. About 75 for Maryville, Alcoa, and Blount County. If you're traveling today, heading south to Atlanta, 75. If you're heading west, Asheville, actually heading west to Nashville with an N, 77. But Asheville with an A around the Biltmore, around 70 degrees this afternoon. Tonight we're looking for a low of 61. It's a bit more humid. Showers and storms, some could be strong to isolated severe. There's that plus I wanted. 0 to 5 plus. We're going to go from 0 to 60 just like that. Well, 5% chance that you'll go from 0 to 60, but there could be some strong winds within some of these thunderstorms. Tonight we're down to 59 in Wartburg, 58 for Middlesboro, 60 Morristown, low temperature in Sevierville, about 58 degrees in the heart of Sevier County. So we're looking ahead to the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast at 6:59. I'm finishing up on time. I love it. 73 on Wednesday, 80% chance of rain both days. 80 on Thursday. Thursday's not bad. There could be some spots of rain in the wee hours of the morning, and maybe another flare up, a little spot of rain in the afternoon. But I think Thursday's a pretty decent day, as we'll lock and reload for more rain potential Friday night, and Saturday. Temperatures Sunday and Monday in the low 80s. Of course, I'll take another look at the weekend and the timing coming up a little bit later this afternoon. I want to check in with you real quick. If you have some comments, leave me a note. Marilyn Bell saying moon pie yummy. Moon pie milk is yummy. I love that. Best comment of the day there for friends at Weigel's. Lana Johnson says good morning. Melissa Mumpower, good morning. Everyone have a blessed day. She's got her 2 cups of Weigel's coffee. Love it. Thank you, Melissa Mumpower. And Wanda Post says be careful driving. Watch for falling trees with all this rain. Yeah, I think our soil, if you know and I know, if you've mowed your lawn in the last week, that grass grows quickly. When it rains so much, it's like the grass is up to my shins. If that's the case, and you probably have some mowing on your to-do list. Just a thought to throw that out there. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Moon Pie Milk, available now for a limited time. It is delicious. Think about it. The iconic Moon Pie is now a sippable treat, which means you can grab a Moon Pie Milk with your chocolate Moon Pie. It sounds delicious. If you haven't tried it, you really owe it to yourself. Go to Weigel's, check it out. It's just better when it's fresh. It's better when it's with Tennessee cows. Of course, the Moon Pie Milk. And of course, if you have it, and I would encourage you to do so, if you haven't picked up, maybe pick up some of the hot coffee. Maybe you're new in town, but there is a Weigel's perhaps very close to you, and maybe you haven't tried them. Check them out. You also want to register your My Weigel's Rewards card. They give out all sorts of amazing prizes, but you have to play, or in order to win, you have to be eligible. You got to register. And if you have the Weigel's app, that can make things even easier. So check out the Weigel's app today. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll keep you updated throughout the afternoon and evening. We'll see you here next time. Take care.